I have gone behind my community's back and turned their pets into dateable Sims for The Sims 4. Hello, love bugs, or Ravi here, and yes, I got off stream today and told everybody, I was like, I have been working on this project for hours and hours and hours and hours of countless days, and I'm still not even close to done. And I bet you I'm going to be working on this video until 2 o'clock in the morning, and it is 1:45 when I'm filming this. Whew. The new Sims 4 pack comes out today if you are watching this video when it is posting. If not, it came out on July 24th, and it looks really awesome. It's adding like all new kinds of romantic scenarios and things for you to put your Sims through. We're all just really excited about it, not just for the usual things that we're excited about with the pack, but also because of all the extra add-ons that are coming, like this Cupid's Corner, which is like a dating app, which is going to allow your Sims to do even more than ever when they're romancing each other within the game, which I think is really cool, and I wanted to play around with it. So obviously I have to check this new pack out. I mean, it looks awesome, but when I play the Sims on stream, I generally like to use Sims that are actually made up of people from my community. And it felt weird to use people for a romance pack. Like there's some weird lines of like consent and stuff there that I felt might be crossed kind of weird. So I thought, how do I make my community feel like they're part of this content without actually making Sims of them? So I got the brilliant idea to go diving through our Discord pet section, which is always very full of adorableness, and use people's pets as inspiration to make actual characters for a fun little dating game thing with no real rules. So let me tell you what I did. So to try and make it easy on myself, I just went to Windenburg, which I'd never really played in this world, and picked 2 plots that were already had houses, and then just made the houses work to fit 8 people each. And can I just warn everybody that they are not perfect yet, and they're not fully finished, because it was a lot of work making 16 Sims for 2 separate houses that are all fully fleshed out with ideas for their jobs, for the kind of people that they are, with outfits for every season. But I did want to at least make the houses so that they had enough bathrooms for the Sims to be comfortable, and that everybody had a bed. And I figure that as we get to learn the different characters, that things are going to change, right? The houses are going to change and shift based on like what we need and how the Sims are reacting to their surroundings. The houses are going to change, their individual rooms are going to change based on their personalities and the things that they're doing. I'm going to want to add some different things in to different rooms based on what the Sim does. But I did make it work so that each of the houses at least can fit 8 people. For the second house, I did get totally lost one night and like trying to turn the main downstairs into like a big open space that feels like a house that 8 people would live in. And I'm much happier with it than I am the other house, I think. So sorry the tenants of the first house, but don't worry, remember, it's going to get better as we go along. But I was able to start actually thinking about their personalities and creating these different spaces up above for the different animal contestants. It's not really a game show. We're just gonna see who ends up together, and then if they find love and get married, I'm gonna make them their own house, and we can see how everything plays out. I think it'll be fun. But I did start designing different rooms and designed some bedrooms. I added another floor to fit 2 more bedrooms up here, and an additional bathroom, but kept everything else kind of blocked off. So anyway, want to meet our Sims looking for love? This might legitimately be one of the silliest things that I have ever done. And I'm starting to get delirious because now it is 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's start with Woof Meow house number 1. Yes, Woof Meow, because they're all dogs and cats. And 1 duck. I really should put a quack in the other house. But anyway, first up, meet Lucian Salvatore, based on Amy Salvatore's naked, beautiful Sphinx cat named Lucian. Now, a lot of the traits and things that I have picked for these characters are loosely based on people's pets. Some of the pets I didn't have as much information about as other pets that I may have actually like met before. Like my own personal dog who is in here was a lot easier for me to do than someone who's I've only seen their pet a couple times in photos. So a lot of this is just made up in my brain. and is just like a fun character or some kind of dynamic that I wanted to add to make the characters interesting. So when they start dating each other, we're gonna have a fun show. So for Lucian, I decided that Lucian was going to be our master chef. Obviously a foodie just made sense. Also Lucian, I see lots of pictures of him curled up, snuggled with Amy and other people in the house, and is always kind of like snuggled up with his sisters and stuff too, and just seems like a love bug. So I was like, romantic sounds like a great trait, but you know, always, you know, tends to be sleeping. Like he's sleeping a lot, so maybe he's just a little bit lazy. So that is the first character that I made. Next up, meet Celeste. Celeste is based on a beautiful little kitty from our own Rinny, who is also one of my mods. Celeste is into spellcraft and sorcery, is adventurous, kind of a bookworm, and also into as a total genius. So Celeste is really into like rocket science and like an intelligent conversation, and is kind of irritated by people who aren't kind of on the same level that she is. And so I think that will also lead to an interesting dynamic within the house and within dating partners. Next up, we have Iro. Iro Donuts, to be specific, based on Dave's and Don't's cat Iro that you always will see on his streams, sometimes just walking by into the camera real close because he climbs up on Dave's desk all the time, which is really, really cute. Iro wants to be a world famous celebrity, much like the actual Iro, always getting on camera, is a total goofball, and is very outgoing, but is also a bit of a glutton, which, you know, I think is pretty accurate to the actual Iro. This really is the house of cats. This next character is one of my favorite ones that I did because it's always fun making a mischievous sim, and Beans, the cat of Moo Rose, is most certainly a mischievous cat. So I decided to make Beans a seeker of secrets, which is one of the kind of dastardly traits for a sim. They're completely erratic, much like Beans herself. Total snob. Such a snob. This is coming from a story about Beans where Moo Rose bought the exact same bed for Beans that she had accidentally ruined, and Beans decided that that bed was not good enough, even though it was the exact same bed. A little bit of a snob, but also a romantic. See, I think that Beans is going to like try to be romantic with people while also secretly sabotaging them, and I think that that is going to lead to some absolutely hilarious and possibly treacherous dating situations. Next, we have just the sweetest little guy, meet Mozzie, based on the beautiful kitty from Rad and Wreck-It. Mozzie is one of our nerds. I think we're going to be very beloved to most of us in our hearts. Mozzie is a computer whiz, loves video games and stuff like that, is also a genius, probably going to get along with Celeste really well, but kind of a loner and kind of a geek. So gonna be having a little bit more trouble in that romance space because he's kind of happy on his own. So we're gonna see how that all unfolds. Now we have Nala Magic, based on the dog Nala from our friend Magic. I loved designing the sim just because it was fun making a sim that wasn't just supposed to be like nothing but good, I guess. I don't know. And I love the hair. I had to use this haircut on somebody, and I think it just came out so well. Nala is a painter extraordinaire, is also very self-absorbed. Some of the, you know, I always gave some of the sims something a little more interesting. Not everybody is just positive, 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 because that would be boring for doing a dating thing, right? So a little self-absorbed, a little bit Queen Nala's world, and that's okay, but also loves the outdoors. Magic posts lots of pictures of like Nala just laying out and enjoying her domain, and also very loyal, which I also thought would be a cool trait to throw in for romance, but also is something that Nala the dog portrays as well in lots of the photos that I've seen. And now we're back to the cats with Flora, or Flo, based on Eve's kitty Flo. She is going to be our Lady of the Knits, which I love. I actually haven't played with the Nifty Knitting set yet. I bought it for myself in the last sale, so I'm really excited to play as Flora and to do the knitting stuff. Also is a bit of a loner, which I think it makes sense with some of the things that she's going to be doing, I think, as a character, but also a little nosy. I didn't want her to be just like a total loner and like just always, you know, nose in a book, because she is a bookworm and she's into knitting and into that kind of stuff. I wanted there to be some sort of trait that made her want to engage with everybody else, and so I made her nosy. So I'm thinking that like She is kind of a loner. She's into her books, but maybe she is also super observant and likes to watch everybody and like get in on the gossip, which I think could spread around the house a bit and make her go from being kind of a support player into a main player like really quickly. So I'm really excited to see how that works out. And rounding out house 1, we have a sim inspired by Kaylee Alexander's dog, Loki. Loki is a new pet to me in our community, but he just seems like he gives that aura of like that safe guy, right? Like that guy that you would trust if you were in like a bad situation at a bar. If you saw that guy, you could go to him and he'd like make sure you got into your Uber safe and like wouldn't try to go with you. That guy, like, you know who I'm talking about. I think that that's Loki. So here is my interpretation of that. Loki is a friend of the world, also a foodie. I feel like always fun to go out and have a good meal with him. Very adventurous and also very outgoing. So he doesn't really have a lot of dislikes except mischief. I just wanted him to not like people causing drama, people causing problems. He just doesn't like it when people are not nice to other people, and that's kind of when he'll stand up. But other than that, he's pretty chill and not just judgmental. He's just like one of those guys. And in house number 2, first up in house number 2 is my mom's dog, Lacey. Come on, y'all. I had to do her. She's in my house in the background all the time. We had to include Lacey in this. And I also want to let you know that my mom helped pick these traits while I designed the sim. We did discuss like what the different traits were, so don't come at me for picking these crazy traits for her. It was what my mom thought was appropriate for her dog. So first off, she wanted Lacey to want to be fabulously wealthy. She is just kind of prissy in that way. I think if Lacey was a person, she definitely would have been in like a high-powered career or something like that. She's also a kleptomaniac. She will steal every toy from every dog she meets. Like, we have a saying where we just say that everything is Lacey's, and that's because she thinks everything is hers. She thinks my bed is hers. She thinks my couch is hers. She doesn't live here, but this is her house. It's just not her only house. But she does love the outdoors. That's something about my mom's dog. She loves to lay out in the sun. She loves being in a sunroom. She loves being like up on a bench in the sunlight. She likes to be outside laying in the grass. She just loves to be outside. And she's also a little materialistic. She loves particular toys, and if she loves that toy, nobody else better touch that toy because that's her toy. So I thought this would be quite the dynamic to bring into the house. And I also added some other traits to Lacey, but we'll talk about that more on the live stream. Next up, we have my mod CBA's dog, Kevin. And I gave him the last name of Old Man because she calls him Old Man Kevin. And so I figured we would all know exactly who he was from that without me having to put like as some version of her name in the last name. But Kevin wants to be an actor, and I really dig this about this character. He's one of our like few kind of searching for fame characters, which I think will also make the dating thing like really interesting. I'm curious to see what will happen in the romance pack when a character has fame. Does that make them like on the dating apps like go nuts? Do they have like an unbelievable amount of people flirting with them that they like have like a never-ending line of choices? Like, I just want to see what happens. So I'm really excited about that. He's also very self-assured, very confident. He's also, as a dog that kind of gets what he wants. He's an insider, so always in everything, always in the know. Every picture that CBA sends me of Kevin, Kevin is always right in the middle of everything, sitting on her parents' lap or right between her parents or right. He's never like, oh, off doing his own thing. No, he's where the action is, which is where that came from. And then also a little nosy. A little trying to get into everybody's business. Has to be the center of attention. You're making a bed. No, I'm laying on the bed. Tell me about what's going on. So again, interested to see how those things are going to play in with the acting part of the sim. Next up, we have Sweet Darby, who is based on Daltana's brand new rescue pooch, Darby. I guess not so brand new anymore. Darby is so cute. And in some of the sims, I was trying to kind of make the characters look like the sim in some way or like throw in a physical trait. With Darby, I like truly just went on like instinct and feeling, and this is what I ended up coming up with. She has lots of cute little freckles like mixed in her fur, and she has like a little bit of brindle on her back, and so I thought, oh, some really cute freckles would be adorable. I decided I really wanted a maker, someone who was going to make things, because I haven't played with those packs a lot, and Darby seemed like the perfect character for that. Very cheerful and happy like we always see with Darby, but also a lazy trait. Like maybe Darby's really into trying all these different things, but also gets a little lazy and maybe doesn't always finish projects. And then Darby's such a lover of a dog. I really wanted to put romantic in there. I thought that it would be a sweet thing too to see a sim that was both like romantic and cheerful, to be someone who's kind of bringing that light into the dating experiences. And I thought it'd also be interesting to have a maker person doing dating stuff. I wonder if like the makers can give out gifts and things that they've made as like a romance thing. Like that would be really cool. Anyway, now this is one I think is going to be one of the most beloved sims of this challenge that I've done, which is based on our own Cookie's cat, Disco. Now, Cookie used to go by Cookie Confetti on Twitch, so I went with Disco Confetti for the name, which once I had the name Disco Confetti, I thought, I am not just going for the cat anymore. I am going for this character in my head. And I decided that Disco Confetti is an absolute gender bending just piece of greatness that we all adore. A leader of the pack who wants to run clubs and have fun and dance and just be the wild, bold personality that they are. They are a bit of a goofball. They are also a total dance machine, and they're a little clumsy. Maybe sometimes a little clumsy, which is something that has been indicated to me from Cookie, again, pulling a little bit something in from the original Disco. And I think that this character is going to be an absolute blast to play with and also to watch and see how they interact with the rest of the community. I think they're going to be awesome. And next up is my dog. This is our new rescue pooch, our foster fail, our Bucky Barnes. Bucky, man, let me tell you, I pulled this up and showed it to my husband and he went, oh my God. And I was like, it's so good, right? He was like, how did you do that? And it really does look like if Bucky were like a young guy, which again, I left the age of all of the characters to be kind of like that young adult age that are kind of like out there dating and having fun like that. I didn't go with any of the true ages of any of the pets. I just thought that it would be best to have everybody the same age so there's no like weirdness there. So anyway, but our little sweet Bucky is a friend of the animals. I have got to say, like, ever since I adopted my dog, he has had so many different animal situations, like between falling in love with Lacey, between trying to make friends with the stray cats in our neighborhood. There have been toads. He has been so interested in all of the animals. So I thought it would be fun to have a nice little animal thing. And on the back of that house, I added a chicken coop so that he can take care of chickens, to have like an animal that he cares for in the house, since I won't be able to add an animal sim in. But he is a little jealous. I wanted to throw some jealousy in on some of the sims because I think it'll be an interesting trait. He does not want anybody to date the people that he's dating. He is a little bit of a jealous guy, though he is adventurous and will go with you on a good adventure. And of course, a bit of a goofball. Okay, my dog has an underbite and his teeth get stuck. It is so funny. He looks like a goofball even when he's trying not to be a goofball. Okay, obviously I'm gonna really love playing as Bucky. Next up, we have Aria, the beautiful husky of Birchie Frou Frou. That inspired this awesome sim. I have actually been blessed enough to meet Aria, and she is many of the things that I am going to, of these traits that I put into this sim. She is an outdoor enthusiast. She loves to be outside. She loves to run around with her sister outside, so she obviously loves the outdoors as well. She's also a very cheerful, sweet old girl. I love her so much, but I put in there that she hates children. Maybe that's a little bit about her owner that's not so interested in children and doesn't want kids. But I also thought it would be interesting to see some of the sims have different traits like that. Some of them like don't want kids. So I just listed that they can't get pregnant or can't get someone pregnant. And it's not so much that I'm trying to talk about whether someone can get pregnant or not. It's more about just like the sim doesn't want to get pregnant. The sim doesn't want to have kids, which is going to change and affect relationships, I think, throughout the Sims group, from ones that really want to have kids and like get married compared to ones that are like, No, I don't want any of that. So Arya is one of those pets that I gave that that trait to. So I'm really excited to see where that will go for her. Now our only non-dog or cat, meet Sky the duck. This is Terry Ann's duck, Sky. I thought it was really fun to make a duck. When I saw this hairstyle, Terry Ann's duck has like one of the red face, like the red around the eyes, and I thought this is like the perfect little nod to that. And then had yellow chicks, like when they have babies and they're chicks, they're yellow. So I made yellow like the color for the sim that kind of pulls the sim together. And I made this character very much about having a big happy family, very much looking for love, not interested in messing around, is not just a character that's casually dating. It's really our only character that is like super actively looking for love and to settle down and get married and make babies. And so I'm excited to see like if we really make that like a main focus of this character, like what is that going to do? Also loves the outdoors, makes sense being a duck. Like I said, very family oriented, but you know, look, ducks are messy. Ducks are just, they're messy animals. They are. If you've ever had ducks, you know that they're messy. So I decided to make Sky a little bit of a slob because, you know, it's more fun when you add not everything in just like totally positive, right? And our final pet, Sir Stanley of Commander Cole's dog, Stanley, a new pet to our community as well, a super cute little pug. And I just love him. He's adorable. While this is the last sim that I've done so far, I do hope to do more pets and do another house in the future. I think that this has been really fun to do. But for right now, this is our last guy. Now he is living in the house where we do have the chickens. So I thought, you know what, country caretaker, we have a lot of space on that plot, and maybe I can build out to have a little farm there since we have so many outdoor lovers and stuff in that house. So went with animal enthusiast in that sense as well. Also very loyal. He just seems like a loyal kind of guy, somebody who's always going to stand at your side, and also a glutton. Also a glutton. You can't tell me, Cole, for 1 second that your dog doesn't love the snacks. much like all dogs, right? I'm looking at mine that's down by my feet right now. So yeah, that's everybody. So what now? Well, the plan is to play with them and to see what the characters do and to who they fall in love with and who they romance. I plan to choose who I'm going to be playing with. I'm probably going to spin a wheel like every 45 minutes and then switch the character that I'm playing. That way I can like level people up a bit. I can get them to get jobs and do different things and actually start building up their little Sims lives. The plan is to let everybody date, and if characters fall in love and want to get married, I can kind of ask chat like, is this it? Do we want these characters to get married? Are they going to have their life together? Are they cute? Are we satisfied with their story? And if we are, then I'm going to move them to a house and build and decorate them a house based on those characters. I think it'll just be a really fun way to check out the romance pack and look at everything that is coming out with the game. And I'm just really excited. I've been working on this, it feels like, for so many hours, but it really has been for so many hours, and now I'm so excited to finally actually play. So if you want to come and hang out with us, check out below in the captions for links. And yeah, I love you all so much, and I hope you like it.